Beckett, out on Netflix, new thriller starring John David Washington, Boyd Holbrook, Vicky Krieps and Alicia Vikander. It's a movie that made me ponder the question, what are all those talented people doing in this crap film? The story takes place in Greece. John David Washington plays the titular Beckett, who's an American tourist exploring the country with his wife April. One night they're driving on an empty stretch of the road in the north of Greece, and Beckett ends up falling asleep behind the wheel. They go off-road, crash into a building. Beckett wakes up in a hospital with a broken arm. He's told that April is unfortunately dead, but the building that they crashed into was empty at the time, so there were no other victims. However, despite being in shock, Beckett remembers seeing somebody actually inside after the accident. He has these flashes of memory. He ends up going back to the scene just to see it, just to review it, and then suddenly people start shooting at him, and not just any people, the local police. Turns out that the accident put him at the wrong place at the wrong time, close to a political intrigue that the perpetrators are trying to keep quiet. Beckett then goes on the run across the country, trying to get to the US Embassy in Athens, all the while trying to avoid his pursuers and figure out what the hell is actually going on. So kind of The Fugitive with a bit of political intrigue, political subtext mixed in. Now, as soon as the movie started, I thought to myself, wow, this looks garbage. One of the opening scenes takes place in Greek ruins, on the slopes of a hill, and apparently the film was actually shot in Greece on location, so you would expect some beautiful landscapes, some establishing shots and just pictures of the scenery. But for some reason the filmmakers use these narrow lenses and refuse to really show us the world, to put us there. Every frame feels small and confined in a bad way. It's just very uncinematic. Put it like this, the way the movie looks is closer to like a family vacation home video shot on home camera than to a real movie. I don't know whether that was a conscious decision or just the lack of skill of the filmmakers, but the result is that the cinematography is extremely dull and boring. As is the rest of the film, I'm afraid. The plot isn't really interesting. We know too little about Beckett to really care about him. The political intrigue is very heavy-handed, and the more we learn about it, the more nonsensical it gets. For some reason, Beckett is also able to continue on his journey even after having the accident, breaking his arm, then being shot, then falling off a cliff, then being cut by a knife, then sustaining some more injuries. This is all topped by a scene where, this is a spoiler by the way, but who cares at this point, a scene towards the end where he decides to drop off like a 4-story building onto a moving car. And I thought, wow, he wants to commit suicide. But no, he drops onto the car and just gets back up like nobody's business. I mean, I don't know what's going on. Is this Fast and Furious or something? I also don't know why Vicky Krieps is even in the movie. I mean, she's an excellent actress, but her character is initially made to appear like it's building up to something, and then she just becomes a non-presence. The film is generally all over the place, and the worst thing is that the plot gets progressively more idiotic and ridiculous and crazy, but the excitement continues to go down. So, there's just something about the cinematography and editing that just makes all the scenes seem boring as shit. And I think that's basically as much as you need to know about the film. It is boring to the point that it feels tiring to watch. Save yourself some time and just skip it.